Hey everyone, how are you doing? Um, so yeah, as you all have might have seen, things are really taking off right now, and this is a very bullish sign. This is a insanely green candle. I didn't really expect this to happen today. I've been bullish lately, but I really believed we might, have to see 5,500 before we actually did this. Um, but yeah, things are looking super great. I'm just going to switch to my chart right here, and as you can see, this is a 4-hour chart. We have a insane candle. This candle covers about, let's see, mm-mm-mm. Yeah, this is an 18% increase on the log scale. I'm just going to remove the log scale for a while because that might make things a little bit easier to see. So there you have it, from bottom to top. That's almost a 20% move, and that is insane by itself. It's great. It's great, but I think we are oversold or overbought right now, heavily overbought, so we will probably see some consolidation. I would like to go to the hourly chart and just share my views for now. We just broke a very big resistance line. This resistance line cannot be seen on the normal scale. If you switch to log scale, there you have it. We just broke out and the bulls took full control. The bulls are in control right now, and there's no way the bears are going to regain that control for the next couple of days, in my opinion anyway. If we zoom out a little, you can see that we have a logarithmic resistance going all the way from December 27 until now, hasn't been broken yet. But I do believe we have to retest this. So at least a price of, let's see, 8,700, something like that, should be achievable in the short to mid-term. And what does this mean for Bitcoin? This basically means that we are making a gigantic wedge, and we are going to continue moving inside this wedge for probably, let me just grab my date range, for probably another month. Let's say 20 days. I don't think we're gonna make it all the way to the end. Potentially we could be in this wedge for another 39 days. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to take a maximum of 20 days to actually break out. Now, which side are we going to break out? To be very honest here, nobody knows. I could make an educated guess, and my guess would actually be that we are going to break out top side, based on past data. Let me just grab my Bitstamp chart here, because this goes back longer in time. There are basically two options that we can follow right now. We can follow the 2013 December fractal, where everything goes to shit and we will enter a year-long bear market. We've already been in a bear market for about 4 months now. Doesn't really matter. Or we could go and repeat the start of 2013. I think this is more likely, and I will explain why. Recently, we have actually seen a takeover of the crypto market by the banks. Most of this went behind the screens, but it is definitely happening. For example, and this is just a quick example, Circle bought Poloniex. And in itself, this might not really mean a lot to you, but let me explain. Circle is actually owned, oh, for fuck's sake, I'm sorry about this. There we go. I'm just going to remove my ad blocker. Yeah, so it works now. Circle is actually owned by Goldman Sachs. And you might be saying like, okay, banks are buying crypto exchanges. This sucks. I'm not going to use it anymore. And that's all fine. I think that, you know, possibly 50% of all the crypto people don't like banks. It's the reason we are here in the first place. But then again, hedge funds, investment businesses, very wealthy individuals like Soros do actually like to operate on infrastructures owned by banks. And what this basically means is that they are creating an infrastructure for hedge funds, for very wealthy individuals, and all that for banks to trade crypto on. I don't see any other reason for Goldman Sachs to buy Poloniex other than that, because you know if you compare Poloniex revenue to Goldman Sachs revenue, um, Poloniex basically means nothing to them, revenue and profit wise. So there's no reason for them to buy it for a quick flip and just make profit of it. No, I believe they are actually trying to create an infrastructure where banks, hedge funds can trade. And this in turn leads me to believe that we have not seen the end of the bull market yet. Last time we actually had to retrace to the second support in the pitchfork. I like trading this pitchfork. It's fairly accurate, as you can see. We just didn't make it all the way to resistance there, but that's not really a problem. It's accurate as it should be. Now, what this basically means is that my target for this year and for next year, I'm not specifically going to name a date, but my target is going to be the top of this pitchfork, and that should bring us anywhere from 68 70,000 USD to all the way up until 100k USD. People might think that's batshit insane, but let me just remove my lock scale for you. Lock scale is gone, or it isn't. Remove. Okay, there we go. Back in 2013, 2014, anyone that would have said that Bitcoin was going to 20,000 USD in basically 1.5 years, I would have called them insane. No way this is going to happen. But, history speaks for itself. Basically, this is what happened afterwards, zoomed in. And right now, I remember 2014 was a big deal. We had a massive bubble. And this bubble is currently not even visible on the chart. It's just a small bump. Something that used to look like this now just looks like a flatliner. And it might go completely the other direction. If I take my pitchfork again and I plant it right here and there, and this will just be moved that way. If I take my pitchfork again, then basically the bottom should be somewhere around 4,000 USD. Now, this is the other possibility. We don't know that. And we will not know that until this wedge has been broken, because this wedge is massive. Basically, it's the only thing that matters right now. And for me, what I did is I am not trading on BitMEX anymore. It was a great run, don't get me wrong. We had an awesome run on BitMEX. We made some nice profits, from this volatility, and this volatility can be shown on the 4-hourly chart. But it's not really about BitMEX anymore. I think that most alts have actually bottomed out. Now, let me just take my Ethereum. I'm just going to show you what I mean by bottomed out. If we have the Ethereum chart here, Ethereum is one of the leading alts. You can see that the only real support for Ethereum resides between 415 and 347. The support that comes after that, and this can best be shown on the daily, is basically sitting at 58 USD, and then we have a very small support on 156. I don't believe that there is any kind of possibility that Ethereum will reach these levels. No way, absolutely not. So that makes the support where we currently are the only option for me. And this led me to decide that I was going back into alts. If Bitcoin dumps to 4K, so be it. But these are actually great levels to buy your alts. Most alts totally bottomed out. Some didn't yet, some are still forming a wedge, depending on when they had their 10x, because as you all know, most of the alts went 10x last year. But everything is looking great. So I don't need another 20-30% discount on my alts to buy. Everything is already looking great, and there's no guarantee that alts will go lower at this point. In fact, if you take your risk reward ratio and you draw it over most alts, things are just looking insanely great. I'm not sure if I can pull up Stratus here. I used to train on Coinigy. Yeah, I'm just going to grab my Coinigy real quick. Just give me a second. I would really like to demonstrate what I'm getting onto here. Now let's pull up Stratus on Bittrex. Stratus is one of those alts that usually goes with the flow. If there's a bull market, goes up. There's a bear market, goes down. I'm not entirely sure I'm getting all the data. There we go. Yep, there we are. So Stratus basically used to reside at levels between, let's say, 200,000 Satoshi, 250,000 Satoshi, and 89,000 Satoshi. That's where it has spent most of its time. Now let me just draw some resistance and support. Going to grab my Fibonacci retracement. There we go. Now here's support. Now, as you can see, Stratus actually broke out of its downtrend quite recently. Broke out, had a retest, and I think these are just the levels you want to buy at if you are going to put a long-term portfolio to work. Same story. Digibyte totally bottomed out. Support for Digibyte is sitting at 240 Satoshis. We have been to 240 Satoshis. Now, if we take our risk reward calculator, risk is below this support. So let's say 204. Reward, I just want to target the 618 for this one. Reward is sitting at 600 sats. This is a risk reward ratio of 3%. And as you will see, if you browse most of the alts, these are not buying advices, by the way. This is just a general demonstration of where everything is sitting. If you look at KMD, support for KMD is sitting between 30,000 and 26,000 Satoshis. Rewards basically should be 86,000 Satoshis. Now, again, risk reward ratio, risk below the support, reward all the way over there. Then you have a risk reward ratio of 3.5. This is all great stuff. The worst thing that could possibly happen if there's another bear move all the way down to 4,000 USD for Bitcoin is that we go back to these accumulation levels. So is it worth waiting for another 20% discount, 30% discount? I don't believe this. And basically that's what I have been doing, and that's what I will continue to do. I have my alt portfolio available to all the members in my group, and it is going really well so far. If you're watching, I have a free group going on. Just check out my Twitter. Basically, if you are on YouTube, I think you came through my Twitter. Am I going to be able to go to my profile? Don't think so. There we are. Just click on this link, Discord. You can join our Discord. We have a great bunch of people in the Discord. Some very smart people actually as well. Everyone is welcome. We have about, let's say, 400 persons strong, and what we do is live coverage of the market, charting discussions. We will even share some positions that we are in, and everyone is welcome. So if you like this, please join up. I guess that's it for now. We are gonna have to wait for the wedge to break. Let's just go to the hourly. I think we should be seeing some down for the next couple of hours because the RSI is through the roof. And what gave this away, in case you are wondering, I've been bullish for the last couple of days. If you check the 4 hourly, what gave this away to me was that the bears are making very strong moves here, and yet every time they made a very strong move, like a couple hundred USD down in 5 minutes, the bulls just were like, nope, and just bought it all back up. So that signals to me that the bears are losing gas. The bears are gonna be out of the market. Also, of course, shorts were on an all-time high, and that is why this move is so strong. Everyone and their mother got liquidated, and this resulted in 1,000 USD candle. So all in all, I'm very happy. I hope you guys are too, and let's make some money. Thanks for watching, and the next update will probably be on Sunday or tomorrow. So have a great day.